here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon WTF Moments. And just thank you in general for your support on this series. It's been really cool. So many people keep popping into my live streams now going, hey Liam, I really love WTF Moments. I hope you can make more of them. And that's really cool. So just a big thanks, to be honest, because I didn't realize it'd be this popular. If you are a fan of WTF Moments though and you're ready for more, make sure you hit that like button. Let's go for the usual. Let's go for 1,000 likes if we can. Let's hit it. We've hit it quite a lot. Let's hit it again. Of course, hit subscribe if you're new so you never miss an episode. Thank you, as always, for 1.37 million subscribers. Don't worry, YouTube has just missed off on 0. It's not my fault. It's their fault. We'll fix it. We'll fix it with your help. But without further ado, it's time to take a look at all the WTF moments for Pokemon Season 1, Episode 41, Wake Up, Snorlax. Our episode starts with, oh no, a hippie. Great.
Good times! Oh!
You better hope there's hacky sack in hell, hippie!
Oh!
Yeah.
Because Ash and Friends, children of the universe. Come on, as if this guy knows anything about the universe. Do one, mate.
The hippie brings out his Poke-Flute, which, let's be real, isn't that special. It's just a recorder with a plastic Pokeball stuck on the end. But something seems a little bit fishy here, because the movement of his fingers on the Poke-Flute don't match up with the rhythm of the music that we're currently hearing, so he must be faking. Imagine being a dishonest hippie.
I have my music.
Well, moment of truth.
After he finishes playing, he expects a handout of food from our heroes. Mate, that's not how it works. You can't just expect payment for something that people haven't agreed to partake in. That'd be like me asking for likes before you've even had a chance to watch the video. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's go for the usual. Let's go for 1,000 likes if we... You know what? I actually don't see a problem here. Let's just move on. Direct quote from the baker. What's that? A customer? Yeah, mate, that's the funny thing about starting a business, is that eventually customers will start turning up. No idea why. It's very shocking if you ask me. I would pick fault with Misty's tears defying gravity, but that's pretty common in a lot of anime. It's kind of a style choice. Oh yeah, she's crying because the bakery is out of bread and because the grocer is out of vegetables and all that. Basically, there's no food in the town. I'm just saying though, for a town that apparently has no food, all the people these children are coming across seem to be pretty healthy.
Or maybe the houses are stocked with food and, you know, has some mountains of price left.
The chef at the restaurant can't cook anything because he has no ingredients. Suddenly sourcing your meat and produce from further afield doesn't seem so bad, eh?
Apparently he doesn't encounter Japanese food that doesn't require meat, mate.
The world record for the tallest philtrum. That's the little groove between your nose and your top lip. It's no wonder he's grown that disgusting patch to cover it up. Can't imagine it without it. So apparently this town's river has dried up and that's killed all the town's produce. This means that food is scarce. However, this guy's family apparently has food stores that will last quite a while. So while the rest of the town is suffering, this guy's just living it up in the lap of luxury. What an arsehole.
Or maybe the houses are stocked with food and, you know, has some mountains of price left.
I get that the river has unexpectedly dried up, but do water Pokemon not exist in this world anymore? And correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't they the most common type of Pokemon? Why not just get a few water type Pokemon to water the crops a couple of times a day?
I've got it.
The guys follow the dried up river and end up at a dead end that's blocked by thorn bushes, which kind of looks like, you know, when you've got too much hair in the plug hole and it kind of blocks the drain because somebody forgot to clean it out. It's me, I forgot to clean it out. As they're crawling through the bushes for some reason instead of walking around them, Misty scrapes her arm and Brock says, be careful, those things are sharp. Brock, mate, call me crazy, but I think she knows. This is my favorite Pikachu quote of all time.
Yeah, indeed.
Only after they've gotten themselves stuck amongst the thorns and Misty's lost a bit of blood does Brock have the brilliant idea to send out their Pokemon to try and clear a path. Honestly, at the rate they're going, the town's never gonna see a scrap of food ever again.
Can you explain what I mean by, this?
Path. Honestly, at the rate they're going, the town's never gonna see a scrap of food ever again. Hang about. Ash sent out Bulbasaur, Misty tried to send out Starmie, but Psyduck came out instead, but Brock didn't even try and send out a Pokemon after he suggested it. Brock fuck, mate? Why are you so goddamn lazy? You're always expecting other people to do the work for you.
That's a good question.
They arrive at a dried up spring and they see a sleeping Snorlax, and Ash exclaims,
"That's a Snorlax?"
Now you could argue that Ash hasn't been a trainer for very long and therefore may have never come across a Snorlax. You know, he may have never seen one. They were quite rare in Pokemon Red and Blue after all. Except that's all bollocks, because in episode 1 of this very anime, he literally had a giant Snorlax plush in his bedroom. Ash, mate, why are you pretending you've never seen one?
I've got it.
According to Dexter, Snorlax wakes only to eat. But that's also bollocks, because we've all done battle with a Snorlax before, meaning that eating isn't the only thing that it does when it's awake. Dexter out here trying to fat shame poor Snorlax.
Are you referring to the game or anime? Because this episode is the first appearance of Snorlax it did. And no, I don't count the plush because that's not count as well. I mean, seriously, Liam? You think that anime actually use the game that we do? Really? Ugh.
Turns out Snorlax is blocking the stream and that's why the river won't flow. You'd have thought after 2 weeks with a dried up river, somebody would have walked upstream to kind of find the source of the problem. Is it too harsh to say that the townspeople kind of deserve to be hungry for being so incredibly lazy? The gang decide that they need to wake up Snorlax so they can get it to move out the way so that the river can flow again. And while Ash and Misty are yelling, wake up Snorlax, Brock's just there like, wow, he's really big. Focus, Brock, focus. Brock suggests if they can't wake Snorlax up, then they'll have to move it. And so Ash, Misty and Brock try and pull Snorlax out of the way on their own, ignoring the fact that between them they have like 13 Pokemon at their disposal, including a giant frickin' Onix. Then they stand there flabbergasted at why the 1,000-pound Snorlax is so incredibly hard to move. I swear, if there were awards for stupidity, we'd be handing out so many today.
Liam? I think you need to check the Snorlax weight and Onix attack stat.
Team Rocket turn up with a camera and microphone and start rambling on about how they're going to be the ones to wake up Snorlax. But their voices sound like they've been recorded and played back through cheap speakers, obviously to give us the impression of that's what would be heard on the recording of their voices. Even though that's not what people's voices sound like when they're holding a microphone but you're still stood next to them. You just hear their normal voice, so I don't get why we're hearing them like this.
Meme. Approved.
According to Meowth, the Ultra Deluxe Balloon Bang Bang is about to begin. For God's sake, mate, there are children present.
Ow, my blood!
Team Rocket plan to use cables and their balloon to lift Snorlax out the way, and Ash is happy to let them steal it if it gets it out the way and allows the stream to flow again. Ash Ketchum is willing to let Team Rocket steal someone else's Pokemon if it directly benefits him. Ash Ketchum is as bad as Giovanni. Pass it on.
Meme. I don't know.
They keep reusing this voice clip of Pikachu going,
Pika, 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 Pika.
throughout this scene, and it gets real old real fast.
Yeah, and I wanted to pick a fight with a Pikachu.
Direct quote from James. Steady, keep it up. It's a hot air balloon, mate. Up is pretty much all it does.
I don't think that's what James is referring to. I think that's referring to continue on with lifting Snorlax from the, so they can unblock the river's blockage.
Look, this episode's a bit lackluster, so I'm gonna have to be splitting hairs a bit. Get over it. But you know what's never lackluster? Team Rocket's cable snap and their balloon along with Meowth goes flying off into the distance, and Ash says they should have known better than to trust Team Rocket. And when Jessie gets mad about it, Ash just does the most deadpan, well, it's true, that I think I've ever heard. Can we get more of this sassy version of Ash rather than the dumb version we normally get, please? So after their one attempt to move Snorlax fails, they decide to go back to the waking up Snorlax idea, and they start with an alarm clock on a stick. Mate, if Ash shouting down a bullhorn or megaphone or whatever you want to call it didn't wake Snorlax, what makes you think an alarm clock will?
Well, actually, Liam, it's possible, depending on things like pitch, that certain sounds could wake Snorlax where others couldn't.
Oh, bugger off, you're not even a real scientist.
What? I don't even want to. Look, 5 more minutes!
And that's not the point. Shh. I mean, that's the point. What the episode is supposed to show us that.
Team Rocket reckon that Snorlax might wake up if kissed by a noble Pokemon. Firstly, what does that even mean? None of the Pokemon these trainers have come from any kind of noble background. You know, they're owned by criminals, gym leaders, and some random amateur trainer. I mean, technically James is from a rich family, but I wouldn't say they're particularly noble. Secondly, if we're really gonna go with this idea, if we're really gonna entertain this particular idea, why don't we just get Snorlax to be given a kiss by each of the Pokemon available from each of these trainers? It's not like if this was actually a thing and a kiss from a noble Pokemon would be the only thing that can wake Snorlax, that too many kisses from not noble enough Pokemon would suddenly make it unwakeable, surely.
Or maybe the episode is trying to use the Disney trope where the princess wakened by the prince. Granted, the noble thing is questionable, but still.
Ash and friends decide on Horsey, which Ash says looks like a prince's horse. Mate, it's a seahorse. Princes don't ride seahorses. Noblemen have never ridden into battle saddled up on a teeny tiny seahorse, have they? Dumb.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that was referring to Horsey's evolution, you know, known as Seadra. But still, agreed.
Before Misty can locate the Pokeball that has Horsey inside, Psyduck jumps out and lays a massive snog on Snorlax's face. Psyduck's thirsty? Pass it on. Misty once again hits an animal. She's just a horrible person, I don't know why you'll like her. Ash and Brock wonder which Pokemon Team Rocket are gonna try. Why has Horsey lost its turn? It didn't even get a go. I thought it was supposed to be the most noble Pokemon. What happened to all that Princess Horse bollocks? Now Horsey got done dirty.
Yeah, that is very unnecessary, dirty. I mean, why is Horsey skip his turn for no reason? I mean, that's... wow. Just... wow.
Wait, I just don't realize. You just said unnecessary. And yeah, they did say that as a pun.
Wait, really? Huh. I guess that's... wow.
Yeah, that's good relief.
Yeah, that is rabadashing.
Direct quote from Ash when picturing Arbok and Weezing puckering their lips.
Those lips would give me nightmares.
Now, I had a joke for this, but I'm not gonna make it because it's actually very cruel. But I'm sure some of you probably know what I'm talking about.
I don't get it.
Team Rocket think having Meowth cosplay as a prince will somehow make him noble enough to wake Snorlax. But surely if there was some weird magic force that could tell if a person was noble enough to be able to wake someone with a kiss, that same force would be able to tell if you were actually noble or a cat in a costume, right? You're overthinking a kid show, you're overthinking a kid show, you're overthinking a kid show.
Well, actually, aren't you supposed to be overthinking it? Isn't that the point of satire, to exaggerate and pretend you care more about minor details than you actually do to get a cheap giggle out of the viewer?
You know what? You're absolutely right. On with the show! Done my arm in then, Emma. As Meowth is forcibly pushed into a kiss with Snorlax, he yells, and honestly, in 2020, that's a mood. Snorlax leans over a little, revealing a Do Not Disturb sign. Thing is, surely before Snorlax sat there, the river was flowing freely, so how did the Do Not Disturb sign end up underneath Snorlax without being washed away by the river before it was blocked? Also, maybe a bracelet or a collar would have been better here, just a thought. Okay, warning, this part of the episode genuinely pisses me off, like genuinely to my bones, and has done ever since I was a kid. The back of the Do Not Disturb sign says, in case of emergency, please use a Pokeflute to wake. And then Brock chimes in with,
Now I remember. I heard once that you use a Pokeflute to wake up a Snorlax.
oh, did you, Brock? Did you really? Now that's useful information.
Thank you, Brock, you absolute freaking genius. Why didn't you say anything sooner?
Well, actually, Liam, he may have just forgotten.
No. That is not the kind of thing you just casually forget. This guy is a I can't believe he knew what to do this whole time and just said nothing. Brock, mate, you're a tosser.
Damn. That's, familiar. Oh boy, I think I'm gonna remake episode 20 some point.
According to Dexter, the Pokeflute is used to wake sleeping Pokemon. A Snorlax will only awaken to this flute. Aha! Liar! You said Snorlax will only wake up to eat, but if it can only be woken by a Pokeflute, then all Snorlax would die of starvation. Dexter's the imposter. The gang realise that the hippie from before had a Pokeflute and they rush off to find him. When they do find him, Ash asks if he can ask a favour of him. When the hippie tells him to ask away though, Ash just doesn't bother asking him and tries to drag the hippie away. Ash mate, that's rude.
Yeah, I agree with that. I wish those would stop doing that. I mean, jeez Louise, not everyone is a speedster, you know. Some people need to chill out, man.
Team Rocket and Ash and Co fight over who gets to take the hippie to go and wake up Snorlax, even though that's what both groups want to happen. Why not just all work together to get the hippie to wake up Snorlax and then worry about the other group? A single gust from Ash's Pidgeotto is enough to send 3 Pokemon and 2 humans flying off into the distance. Off.
So, UTF went at Gus for yeeted Team Rocket? The same way the Thunderbolt from Pikachu does? Also, do you not see the tornado outside? They can yeet anything, including people.
Direct quote from the hippie who conveniently knows this Snorlax.
Your girth is blowing my mind.
So it turns out the hippie is Snorlax's owner, which explains why it couldn't be caught in the Pokeball earlier in the episode. But because Snorlax sleeps so much, the hippie just leaves it in random places and comes back once a month to wake it up. Here's an idea. Carry it in its bloody Pokeball, you twat!
Meme. Approved.
Quick question, do you always have to play the specific Pokeflute tune in order to use it to wake up Pokemon, or can you literally play something like Careless Whisper and still get the same effect?
Yes, because that flute produces lovely tune, sweet sounding, or beautiful sound to wake up Pokemon.
After Snorlax wakes up and walks away, it's revealed that more bushes covered in thorns were behind it and therefore the river is still blocked. Did nobody think to check behind Snorlax? I'm pretty sure one of them must have seen those massive thorn bushes when they were putting all those cables on Snorlax earlier. Surely.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, they putting gloves on that. And the elf who's in the balloon noticed Snorlax on the ground and not notice the rose bushes behind them.
Also, I'm kind of wondering, if they'd have just cut those bushes away, would the water pressure built up behind just have pushed Snorlax out the way? Could have saved themselves a job.
No. Because I did point out that Snorlax is a heavy-ass bear, and it would make sense that the river actually, push him, because he's goddamn heavy.
When Snorlax starts eating all the thorns, the hippie tells him it looks like he has a case of the munchies. Casual weed references in a kid's show. Gotta love it.
So excuse me, fastest one frame coming through.
Again?
After all the bushes are gone, Ash exclaims,
Look, guys, the river's back to normal again.
yeah, but Pikachu ain't. The hell happened to him?
Explain what you mean by that?
The townsfolk are happy to see the river flowing again, probably not realising it'll still take a considerable amount of time for them to grow any crops. No, yeah, look, carrots take about 60 days, lettuce even takes 50 days, wheat takes about 8 months. Mate, you better start sharing your family's food reserves, Jesus.
Meme. Approved.
This guy wants to hold a special banquet to celebrate. Yeah, nice one, mate. Rub it in that your family still has access to food while the rest of the town suffers, you prick.
Meme. No. It's now illegal to use your meme.
Team Rocket find out Snorlax has gone back to sleep and won't wake up for about a month, and for some reason are upset by this. Mate, the Pokemon is asleep so it won't put up a fight. The owner is leaving it unsupervised willingly and won't be back for about a month. All you need is some stronger cables and you can pull off the easiest theft of your careers. So it turns out this little pothead has at least 7 Snorlax that he leaves in random places and wakes up once a month. That means he's causing this kind of chaos everywhere. Just keep your Pokemon in your Pokeballs, you bastard.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, seriously, old man, you had to do that. I was going to literally put one scene in, but after reading Legends of Arceus, Snorlax Pokedex, Yeah, I give this one a 10 remove.
The Snorlax very slowly leans and rolls over, and Team Rocket don't move, so they get crushed. You'd just move, wouldn't you? Like, you'd just move. Dickheads.
Unless they got affected by parallax. No, not that parallax. Yeah, that one.
Can't we read the duck's complaints?
Alright, here's the first one. It says, Dennis is a lazy here that doesn't contribute. Who wrote this?
I did. He had one job to shove my train ready and on time. And guess who had to do it? He made him, he did.
I thought a fat man once said once upon a time he would send lazy engines away. Well, clearly that was a lie.
I know. Lucky me.